how did you originally come on board and work at Sheffield United?
Well, I guess the Prince and Kevin had a chance meeting in somewhere in England while he was traveling, and he came back from this travel and handed me a slide deck on Sheffield United, and from there a series of meetings. This would have been February-ish was, I think, the first encounter that they had, and I was involved from that point up until we did a transaction in late August, I think the 31st of August of that year. And so I was involved in sort of studying every aspect of the club, running a due diligence team, financially, technically. So basically, when we got the deals negotiated with the McCabe's, I was made a director of the club, which is kind of a strange place to start in football.
That's actually leading me on beautifully to my next question. I mean, how much did you know about football and Sheffield United?
As much as I know about, say, Nepal. I know they have tall mountains. I wasn't very well informed. I think the value that I was expected to add and was sort of a business side understanding, and I'm decent with people. So, I had, I was doing a number of different things for the Prince at that time, but one of the ideas was just to help run the club from a management side. And we built an agreement system that did not require very much work from the board. It sort of, because, when we came in, there was an incumbent owner. We set things up so that most of the decisions were made by management. So people like to have the belief that the board is in there fiddling with everything. And the design of the program was essentially to not fiddle with things and to have professional managers both in the front office and on the touchline, and to allow them to do their thing.
Makes sense.
It wasn't like I was coming in to be the football expert. If that were true, the Prince is a football man, and he would not have sent me to do that job.
But you then, of course, got a chance to experience Sheffield, the city, the place. You didn't stay in America, where we're speaking to you now. What did you make of the city of Sheffield?
Early impressions, super warm people. So I think the first blade, other than Kevin McCabe, that I met was a gentleman who is with the Handsworth Blades, Boothie, and he later passed away, I think, while traveling to see some footy in Poland. But he was sort of the first Sheffield United fan, the first blade who wasn't in ownership that I met, and then just from there, every single thing. I mean, it was an amazing. It was being involved in the club was like it was like one part ministry or something, where you're just taking care of people.
Yeah.
And there are all kinds of things happening in people's lives, good things, bad things, and people were very happy to have they wanted the club to be a part of their great losses and of their great wins and of their, the marriages and deaths. And it was just an amazing thing. And I felt like I was very much a part of the place. I think that the first match that I saw was, let's see. Now,
was it gone?
I'm just going to swear.
Right, but good. Family channel.
We'll keep it PG. but it was the first match of that 2013 season. So was that Notts County?
Yeah, that would have been the 2-1 win.
Yes, and so, but I think that the feeling that Sheffield was, as it had been described to me, more of a village than a city in terms of the way it felt, a very large village, but that it had warmth, and that it also had this passion, and of course, one of the criteria when we went out shopping for football clubs is we wanted a club that took the club, as a religion. And I suppose that the first time I was sitting in the stands and wasn't sitting for long when the crowd started singing the Greasy Chip Buddy. And I troubled myself to learn it before going to that first match.
Good.
And when it just started off, it was loud. It was just like it was a hair standing up on the back of the neck kind of thing.